Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the seminar presentation of Group 9. The members of this group are me, myself, Marin Biju Sebastian, Anisha Akbar Sabina, and Nitin Tom. The topic for this seminar presentation is Operation Strategy, Planning, Implementation, and Strategy. This topic was taken from an article called Operation Strategy Formation, a continuous process by Linda Nielsen Englist, published on 2003. This presentation discusses how traditional strategy models are limited and proposes a continuous adaptive model of strategy formation. This presentation is divided into three sections. So let's begin the presentation. So let's begin this presentation by talking about the problems of traditional strategy. The formulate then implement fallacy. We could either call traditional strategy by this name because traditional operation strategy is often seen as a linear top-down process. It's a discontinuous event. It first creates a plan, then executes it. This model ignores how strategies develop in an organization. It focuses on what to think about, not how to manage the process. So the key issue for this traditional strategy is it ignores how strategies develop dynamically in a real organization. Next, let's talk about the new perspective strategy, strategy formation, and strategy formulation. Now let's look both of the strategies. Strategy formulation, it is a discontinuous process of restructuring intended and actual strategy. And strategy formation, it is a process of continuous and incorporates both formalized plans like intended strategy and unplanned changing actions like emergent strategy. So if we break it down, strategy formulation means it is a static structured process of restructuring strategies, whereas strategy formation it's a continuous dynamic process that integrates formal plans as well as unplanned actions. Now let's look on a case study that is shown in this article. The case study is done on a company called Coloplast. It is a Danish multinational company which is founded in 1957. They mainly focused on medical products such as ostomy care, urology, and wound care, etc. They started their key transformation in the 1980s from expanding their local market to global market presence, focusing on European and North American giants. The initial strategy that they adopted during that time was just in time or JIT philosophy, which helped them to produce directly to customer order. No finished goods or stock were seen at the production site, which helped them to reduce waste. So that's it from this section. The next section would be taken by Nitin.
Hi, I am Nidinto. I am here to explain about the four phases of model, which are learning, reviewing, aligning, and redirecting. This is the first phase, learning. In this phase, the formal just-in-time strategy was challenged by new ideas which were emerged, and the new ideas were initially rejected by the organization, but they lived on and evolved into next-level strategies. In this phase, the local teams and management started small-scale experiments in the organization itself. For example, decoupling production and packaging at one factory. Now, moving on to the next phase, reviewing. Here, the organization conducted some formal studies and research analysis on the emergent strategies. They also compared the actual strategy with the strategy they intend to implement. They also brought some outside experts like guest speakers, researchers to question and test the company's way of thinking. The key driver is that the success of the factory shows that the idea is trustworthy and can be implied. Here is the third phase, aligning. This phase was more analytical than creative, as the core idea already existed. The project group even calculated the cost and savings of the new strategy to show that this new idea makes good financial sense. In this phase, the idea which was started informal was made formal and become the company's newly planned strategy. The takeaway is that the aim of the organization is to adjust the company's plans so the new idea can be implemented, which was tested and proven to be work in this organization. This is the last and final phase, redirecting. As part of redirecting, they started flexible projects to learn and adapt rather than following a fixed plan. They even adapted a new approach which is called divergent learning approach. In this approach, they tried several ideas at the same time, like automated packaging and centralized labeling to see which would work best. They also kept many choices open, which kept every employee motivated in their work, which will benefit the organization. This table is a summary of the phases which we learned about, which are learning, reviewing, aligning, and redirecting. This figure shows the strategical evolution of Coloplast over time. In late 80s, just-in-time strategy was developed, and from 1995 to 1999, first and second review of distribution strategy happened. From 1999 to 2001, learning through local postponement initiative and as decision to change in 2001, alignment in new strategy were introduced. From 2002 onwards, continuous learning within intended strategy was introduced. And thank you. This is all for me, and rest of the presentation will be taken by my next group member.
Hi, I'm Anisha, and I'll be presenting from this point on. Coloplast allowed multiple reviews of ideas over time, supporting long-term evaluation. And the divergent learning helped to test and improve alternative strategies across organizational levels. Performance measurement highlighted the benefits of decoupling production and packaging. Then alignment ensured by top management, steering committees, and board approval. Strategic direction was accepted as long as it fits the company's perspectives and values. And also cross-functional involvement, including logistics, production, and sales, was key to consistency and commitment. Then I would say the different modes of strategy formation analyzed in the Coloplast case study. The learning and redirecting phases are dominated by symbolic and generative modes, where a shared mission guides action and managers act as coaches and sponsors. And the transactive mode is also present as divergent learning leads to mutual adjustment. And the review phase is seen as generative as it is initiated by individual actors. And the aligning phase is governed by rational and command modes using formal systems with a small expert team providing directions. As concluding, I would say the Coloplast case is a good practice that demonstrates a complex and valuable interplay between different modes of strategy formation. The process is proposed as a relevant alternative for learning organizations, and it may help managers define their roles in strategy management, like in logistics, sales, etc. And ultimately, a process design should be continuously modified and improved through learning to fit an organization's specific mission and perspectives as well as different contexts. And that's all for the presentation. Thank you.